Hey guys, welcome back into the channel for yet another Chicago Cubs topic video. Pretty much throughout this video I just want to go through how the Cubs have been doing lately. And it's kind of been a mixed bag. You know, they go to Milwaukee, they drop 2 out of 3 to a team that, you know, is in the midst of playing spoiler, has actually been playing pretty decent ball in Milwaukee, but a team that, you know, you probably shouldn't be losing series to. But then what do? They follow it up by going to Houston, a team who's battling for the American League wildcards, or for a spot, I should say, in the American League wildcard picture. And the Cubs go out to Houston, and they take 2 out of 3. Last night's game on Sunday Night Baseball, the offense really exploded off of Mike Fiers. Soler had a massive homer. Addison Russell hit his 20th of the season. It was nice to see that. Chris Bryant had a homer during the series. It was a series where it was kind of like you had game 1, the offense wasn't great, but John Lester again continued his dominance, pitched great. The game 2, the offense was horrible. The worst offensive game of the year for the Cubs. They only mustered up 2 hits. And then yesterday they come out and they score 9 runs and they look dominant offensively. Taking a ton of walks, a lot of hits, a lot of extra base hits. All in all, though, I thought 3-3. But the fact that they went to Houston, rebounded, and how well they played offensively in this last game, obviously gives me a good feeling. They're going to St. Louis now, starting tonight. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, playing the Cardinals, a team that is going to be desperate. It's going to be giving it everything they got. They're only a half game behind the Mets for the second wild card spot. So this should be an electric series, maybe a little bit of a playoff preview. It should be, without a doubt, a playoff atmosphere. Most Cubs-Cardinal series are, but especially when each team is good late in the season. So it should be fun. Who we got going today? We got Mike Leake going against my boy Kyle Hendricks. To be quite honest with you, I really believe that matchup favors the Cubs. Although I will say Mike Leake pitched extremely well against the Cubs about a month ago. But since then he hasn't had much success. He was on the DL for a while, so we'll see. He's a guy though that will change speeds, throw a lot of off-speed pitches, which is the type of pitcher that has given the Cubs some problems this year. But we'll see. The Cubs' magic number is down to 5. So if the Cubs can go to St. Louis and sweep them, they could clinch the division in St. Louis. As a Cub fan, and I'm sure a lot of you watching this video are Cub fans as well, how special would that be? I think it'd be extremely awesome. But it's kind of like a win-win situation because, if you sweep the Cardinals, then you clinch in St. Louis. If you don't, then you clinch at home because they come home after that and have a 10-game homestand in which they will clinch for sure. So I think no matter what, clinch is going to happen sometime in this upcoming week. But it would be sweet to do it in St. Louis. I will say, though, that I've been thinking about this, This is the type of series, obviously as players, they're not thinking this way, but as a fan, I'm not saying I'm scared of anyone necessarily, because I think the Cubs are the best team, and if they play their best baseball, they will win the World Series. But the fact of the matter is, I'm scared of the Mets a hell of a lot more than I'm scared of the St. Louis Cardinals. So there's a small part of me that thinks, if you did go to St. Louis and you swept them, there's a very real chance there will only be 16, 17 games left. There's a very real chance that would pretty much put an end to the Cardinals' playoff hopes. If the Mets went somewhere and got a sweep, the Cardinals could be 3.5 back with 17 to go. They're out of the playoffs if that happens. While if the Cardinals took 2 out of 3, the Mets did whatever. The Cardinals could be ahead of the Mets or right there with them if they have success in the series against the Cubs. So it's kind of a win-win situation in that respect, too. Either the Cubs go there and whoop them, and you're happy because the Cubs won and they beat the Cardinals, or the Cardinals win, and you're down a little bit because you lost, but then again, it's like, good. That makes it so we don't have to play the Mets come playoff time. But I'm on the spot. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Out of the Mets, Giants, Cardinals, whatever one of those 3 teams we're going to play, give me the Cardinals out of the 3. I'm not saying any of them are going to be easy matchups. The Cardinals have had a ton of success against the Cubs this season, more success than pretty much any other team, but out of those 3, still, I'd prefer to play the Cardinals because they don't have that front-of-the-rotation starter that the Mets and the Giants have. So come playoff time, I think our pitching matches up really well with their pitching. So in that respect, I think it gives us a massive edge. But, yeah, not really much else to say, guys. I went 3-3 this past 6 games. They go to St. Louis. Magic number down to 5. You got 20 games left. 91-51 on the season. Just counting down the days, guys. Playoffs are right around the damn corner. Let's go, Cubs. Let's get to October. And go Cubs go, guys. I'm out.